Just win, baby.
Fuck, so excited to have you here on my show, man. Thank you for being here. Been a huge fan of you since I remember back when you started like 2020, 2021. You know, part of one of the main reasons why I thought I could do this also. So, you know, shout outs to you for doing it out there, you know, doing your thing, bro. Like I see you guys, what you guys are doing, and I love it. You know, the whole Uce Nation. I attended your home opener thing. That shit was badass, bro. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. It's been a while since I got in front of a camera and did this whole thing, other than the podcast and stuff like that. But of course, I appreciate the support. I mean, you've been one of the ones that have been supporting since day one. And I remember you coming out to the home opener, you know, nothing but vibes out there. So, you know, I thought I pay it back by just showing up and just doing a quick show with you, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Does it feel way different? Like now that you're like behind the camera at a studio, and then now you're doing like a quick little podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is. The podcast is pretty fun, man, and it's cool to be in like a studio atmosphere, you know, like and sit down with a lot of the guests that we have, and even the guests that we're going to have, you know. And then obviously I have my host Mr. Fitz with me, so we just be shooting the shit sometimes. You know, it's different than going live on here, and that's one thing that I wanted to do before I even moved out here to Vegas was I really wanted to start a podcast, one, and then two was not do a podcast online, you know, like a video podcast. I know, not to knock anybody, but you know, I just want to
get you. Yeah,
you know, the same vibe, like the same area, the same vibes, and just talk face to face and stuff like with these players and these guests. And man, it is a bit different, but I know a lot of people have been asking where the hell have I been, you know, doing this, you know. The past month or two, man, has been a lot, man, especially kind of gearing towards moving to a new place and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back on it and whatnot. But I just been focused on the podcast and just enjoying the games.
Yeah, I see you guys in the studio, and it's like I think when I started, that was my dream, like to have my boys in the studio, kind of shoot the shit, and then that's the part people want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what like people would tell me, like, man, you guys should have your show. Like you guys are hilarious, and you guys know so much about football and all this stuff. And seeing you guys do the studio, like, man, that's got to be so cool. Sometimes I'd even forget it's a Raider podcast. And I'm just watching y'all, and I'm laughing my ass off at the shit you guys talk about. You know, especially when you bring on the guests. You know, that shit's fucking. You guys had Brad the other day. That was fucking hilarious, dude. That dude's funny.
And that's one thing that I wanted to do with it too. Is like, especially moving out here to Vegas, man. You get to network and meet a lot of people out here. And Brad is one of those guys that live out here. You know, him and his MMA background and whatnot. He's been here for a while, but like to connect with guys like that, you know, we have Big Body Cisco, and even like just talking with the players, you know, like I know we have Brandon Parker and Ike Brown, but we have a lot of people that we're trying to gear towards getting. It's just finding the right time. We actually, well, I haven't really announced it, but we actually have a Sean Merriman coming on soon. On a
no way, really?
So he's one guy that we've been going back and forth talking to shit, you know, Chargers.
Oh
Raiders. So we kind of have him before the Chargers matchup. But not only just him, you know, like we've talked to a lot of the players and stuff, and that's what I like to do, you know, like just to meet these guys in person and just like I said, just shoot the shit.
Yeah. Oh man, I could just imagine Fitz and Merriman are gonna go at it.
That one, man, I'm excited to do that one, man. But he's cool people though, man. He's hella cool.
Is he? He seems like it. I know I talk a lot of shit to him too because he's a Charger, but he seems like a really cool ass dude. Yeah, he really does.
Yeah, that's the thing that I like, man. Like I love opposing fans that could talk shit, but they're cool, you know. Like they're hella not disrespectful, you know. There are the disrespectful like fans like shit, but he seems to be one of the guys that are cool. He could take a joke and he could give a joke, you know. So I'm excited for that one, man.
Damn, that's cool. That's cool. See, that's the cool part, man. You in Vegas, you get to do all that, the big things, meet the players, all the events, and damn, you guys be hanging at the Wing Club too now, right?
Yeah, man. The Wing Club, man. Yeah, I've been blessed to go there a couple times this year, and so far every time I've been there, we've been winning. So Next game for sure. I'll try to make my way down there and shit. You know.
Oh
It's
shoot! It was funny because I got invited one time as part of like
yeah,
being the win player and all that, and I didn't want to
yeah,
go because it's so low, and I like to watch the game.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of hard.
That's the only thing about it. Yeah, that's the only thing about it is
Nah.
it's field level, and it's cool
Mhm.
when they get closer to your side. But when they're on the other side, it's kind of
You're
hard to
like,
see anything. You know, you got to kind of look at the screen. It's kind of same,
oh,
but I like
God.
it better than the championship club because we went to the championship club
Oh, really?
last year. We went a couple times last year, and it's
Mhm.
great. You know, all you can eat, all you can drink. They
Right.
have a field view too, but the thing that sucks about it, you know, you're right at the back of the bench, so you get to see all the players. Like you're right there, but you can't really see the game because you just see the players kind of blocking the game.
Mm.
Kind of watching it on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
screen.
yeah,
So that's the thing that kind of sucks about it.
yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
for the UNLV games, because you know the UNLV they use the turf, right?
Yeah.
The field tray is out, so the UNLV games you're looking over them, so it's a way better
Oh, so
view.
it's lower.
Yeah, it's slower.
Oh,
It's better for the UNLV games than it is for the Raider games. But I guess you're just there for the experience for the most part, you know.
that's cool. That's cool. I remember I did that in Oakland one time. I got so excited. I got front row seats, like 3 rows back, mid level, but I couldn't see
Ooh.
over the players. I was so mad. I was like, "This is cool. I can see the
Yeah,
players, but I couldn't see over them to watch the
yeah.
game." I'm like, "Oh man!"
Yeah,
Like, damn, I
after
didn't do
like
that.
5-10 minutes of taking everything in, you know, like dang, look at that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Max Crosby. After that, it's like fuck, I can't see the game, you know.
I can't see the
But that's
game. Yeah, yeah.
Brad was saying that too. Like when we sat down with Brad, he was saying like, yeah, when he went to Oakland and he would try to buy seats, he would want to get close, but then when he would talk to the rep or whatever or whoever, they were saying like it's better to get like a couple rows back, like you know,
Yeah,
not the front row because you're getting it's like standing view, so you're kind of
like
like
standing.
getting blocked by everybody and shit like that. So I understand what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I know you go to the Vegas games a lot, and one of the things I want to ask you because one of the things I loved about the Uce Nation was you guys trying to bring that vibe back to Vegas. People
Uh-huh.
always complain to me about it, like it's not Oakland, it's not LA, and I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, it's us up to us, the fans, to make that happen.
Yeah,
Like we kind of
yeah, yeah,
expect Mark and the Raiders to bring that back. Even in Oakland, it wasn't them; it was the fans who brought that around. You know,
yeah,
so I seeing you guys when you guys had that first one, it was so dope, so live, and then we did it again here in LA when we played the
yeah,
Chargers. I saw you. Yeah, that was even even better. Just seeing you
yeah.
guys out there, like, and I heard now I haven't been, but I'm going for the Vikings game. And now J Lot's gotten even bigger, right? It's starting to
That's
expand a
yeah,
little bit more rows. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know, I haven't been to the last two home games, but I've heard, you know, Fitz has
Okay.
told me the Jets game was probably the biggest that he's seen. The Chiefs
Mhm.
game, I don't know for sure, but you know,
Okay.
yeah, it's slowly but surely getting a little bit better. You know, obviously Vegas is never going to be like Oakland. Oakland had their own
Mm,
vibe,
yeah.
and I tell a lot of people this is like, you know, Oakland, you know, people lived out there in the Bay Area. That's the thing that they look forward the most was going to the tailgates
Right.
more than even just the game. That's why their
Yeah.
tailgates were like second to none, you know.
Yeah.
Vegas is a different story, man. You know, like coming out here, it's a vacation destination. You know, I
Mhm.
understand why a lot of opposing fans would want to come to Vegas.
Oh
Obviously, you want to spend
yeah.
a you know, spend a weekend in Vegas, watch your team play, whether they win or lose. And, you know, with the ticket prices, how bad there are, you know, I know a lot of Raider fans can't just go to every game.
Yeah.
But for a
Yeah.
post, like they could circle it, you know, one time out of the calendar year, like, hey, I'm gonna go to this game. I could just spend $500 a ticket for this one game. Raider fans were like, damn, that's every game for us, you know. So uh,
Yeah.
Raider fans, there's a lot of options out here. You could go watch it anywhere. You know, you could do whatever. There's watch parties and stuff like that. But I feel like it's not really going to take the Raider Nation, to really like take over
Yeah.
until the product on the field is better. You know, and I think
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
it's starting to get better because Josh McDaniels got fired. A lot of fans are
Oh.
happy about that. A lot of people are riding with AP. And they love what the energy that we have right now. I know we've been in a losing streak, but they rather go watch AP and this team instead of watching, you know, Josh McDaniels. So I mean, hopefully, if we start winning more, it'll get better. Because there's been certain games where, you know, Raider Nation really went all out, blacked out the stadium. We
Uh,
looked great. Um, one of those games is the Chargers game. You know, the game to get into the playoffs. I was there
yeah.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
Fitz. vibes, like the tailgate, everything that whole weekend, man. Nothing but Raider Nation, but we had something to fight for. The Raider fans were
True.
there. I think it's just gonna take some time for you know Raider Nation to make it like an every Sunday thing. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see how the Viking game is gonna look. I think it'll be better. We get the bye weekend, we get some time. So next week, obviously J Lot. That's the spot we're always at. I know that there's a lot of other parking lots, but I know J Lot's
Mhm.
the spot that everybody's trying to make the tailgate spot for all the games.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Before I even knew about you guys doing J Lo, I used to just go to the Modelo zone, or is it the Modelo?
I
Yeah, yeah.
I went there once.
Uh huh.
That's actually pretty cool.
It
It's,
is. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
good
yeah.
for people that don't know where to go, or even
Yeah.
opposing fans. Like you
Hmm.
see the Modelo Zone, you go over there, you got a lot of vendors, you got a lot of little games over there. Sometimes they have players
Hmm.
over there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I went there one time though, because
Okay.
because I actually got to park at the parking lot right across from Raider Image, and
Oh, okay.
I wasn't gonna walk all the way to the gate lot, man. And I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
let me go where to go, and then I seen that I was like, oh, let me go check it out for one time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. You brought up a good thing. Brings us to our next topic. Is the ever since the firing of just Josh McDaniels, the team has had a new
Yeah,
vibe, new energy. You could tell,
yeah.
you see it, you could hear it on TV. The Raider fans blacking it out. I did notice the ticket prices went down. You know that probably has to do with it. When we played the Giants and the Jets, the
That's
tickets
true.
weren't that much. Yeah, but I saw it went up when we played Kansas City, so I was like, damn it. I was gonna try and go, but the prices were too expensive. But you
Yeah,
definitely feel the vibe with Coach AP. Like
yeah.
how you feeling, or where you at as far as Coach AP and the Raiders moving forward with him, or
Man, yeah. This is a topic that we've talked about a lot. Me and Fitz. I love AP. But I'm gonna be
Mhm.
the first to say that I didn't think that there was any coach in the building that could take over. So that's why I was like, I don't see the Raiders firing Josh McDaniels. Fuck it. We'll see how far the ship sinks with Josh McDaniels
Mhm.
till the end of the season. And then we
Right,
make that
right.
decision. Because I was like, I don't know about Patrick Graham. I don't know about I forgot who the offense coordinator was at the time.
It was
But yeah,
Lombardi. Yeah.
yeah, Lombardi, yeah, Lombardi. And when they announced AP, I was like, oh shit, this could possibly work out. And then what do you call it? The first like press conference that he had, kind of got a lot of people hyped up. I got hyped up,
Yeah.
and then to
I got
see
it.
how the players reacted to it and how they played for him, it really goes a long way. So for me, I like AP. I know he's still got to learn, man. He's a new coach. He's a new head coach. Everybody's new. Everybody. Aiden O'Connell's a rookie. Bo Hardigree, he's a new offense coordinator. He just picked up the playbook and just went with it. Everybody's new, so it's gonna take time. There's some questionable things that AP has done. Uh, as far as like just calling plays or being really what's the word, like
Conservative.
conservative, yeah, here and
Yeah.
there. But for the most part,
Mm.
I feel like you know I think that this is his job to lose. If he goes out there and has a great season, whether or not we make it to the playoffs, I feel like 9-8. Oh shit! If we make it to the playoffs or we look competitive for the rest of the season, and it looks
Mhm.
like we're going in the right direction, I wouldn't mind having him as the head coach and seeing what he could do with an offseason. If he makes the playoffs, I think for sure he'll stay. But if he
Yeah.
doesn't and it looks okay, then we'll have a big discussion whether or not he could be the guy. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
rooting for him. I hope that he could be that guy because it's one thing to be a coach, and there's another thing to be a leader. And I think that he's a leader of men, and
Right.
that goes a long way. We had that with Rich Bisaccia, even though he didn't know much about being a head coach. A lot of people play
Yeah.
for him. Um, but we'll see, man. You know, I'm okay if we keep him. I'll be happy with it, and I'm also okay if we move on from him. So I'm
Okay.
kind of like in the middle. So
You're kind of
yeah,
like open minded. You're more open minded to it, and
yeah,
be open to, like, if it works out, it does. If it didn't, then there was a reason. They moved forward. Maybe
right,
there was a better option out there that you know.
yeah,
Say one of the coordinators or something like that comes up. But yeah, I was with you when everybody said fire McDaniels. I was like, who the hell is going to take over? Like, I always thought it would
right.
be Graham. because he was like interviewed before
That's
in
the
the
name that I
past.
thought was going to be. That's the name that I thought it
Yeah,
was. Yeah. And then
and then it was
I
funny because my homegirl Myra, she had heard through the grapevine that it was Antonio Pierce, and I thought about it like, damn, that would be wild though, because he's more like a player than freaking
yeah.
Montgomery was, where he would get motivated, fool. And then they announced Pierce, and then you saw the press conferences and even the Raiders social media getting us hype with the Marshawn videos, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
like I feel hype, like I'm ready, like let's get the second half of the season started.
The vibes have been great. I love the vibes. I just hope that we can add more winning to it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that part, and even with the winning, I'm not mad that he's 2-2 because he won the 2 games he was supposed to, the Giants and the Jets. And he
Yes.
lost the 2 that maybe only Raider Nation felt we should have won, which was Miami and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Everybody else thought we were going to get one killed in Miami, which we didn't. We put up a fight.
Yeah.
And then even with Kansas City, we came out strong. We just couldn't finish the game. So
Yeah.
now
My
I want to
thing was, like,
see.
yeah. But my thing was like I knew Kansas City every year, anytime. Like that's the only game that I could say that, oh, well, okay, we'll drop that one. But we have a chance. We have a chance to beat them. But the Dolphins one, I was kind of like frustrated with, because we could have won that one. And even going into that game, I felt like we could have, because we had a lot of momentum, winning 2 straight games. And then when you watch that game, we did have a chance to win that game, but the offense let us down. And that's the thing that's been tough this year, has been the offense. Surprisingly, I'm not really sold on AOC still. I'm up,
I've heard.
but I'm not like, oh, he's the guy, he's the future, like my guy Fitz always says. But I go back and forth. I give him shit with AOC. That's why we go back and forth with Jimmy G and AOC.
Yeah, because you were a Jimmy guy. You were a Jimmy believer, right?
Yeah. I still think that he could be. I still think that he could be that guy right now, man.
Really?
Because I see AOC out there, and he doesn't really show much more than Jimmy G for me. Like they still go through the same problems, Like the O line is not that good, so they both kind of fold under pressure. Jimmy, I think his IQ is a little bit better. But the thing with AOC, he can stretch the field. That's the only thing
the arm
that I see. Yeah, that arm talent, that arm talent is better than Jimmy G. But it's like it's apples and oranges with both of those guys. So our quarterback situation, I think, moving forward is going to be the biggest need for us. If we go forward with AP and he gets his own offense coordinator, defense coordinator, whatever it may be, the quarterbacks, we got to get a better quarterback. I don't see AOC being that guy in the future. That for me, I think that he's a good backup. I kind of alluded to this before. I feel like he's like a taller Matt McGloin. He looks good.
Okay. Yeah.
He looks good. He can make the right plays here and there, but he's inconsistent. And there's and he's a preseason hero. Like he looked great in the preseason. But that's just a lot of people get on my head for this.
How Tui, remember when Tui Asasopo used to be like the preseason hero, and then people would want him to come in. And then he would
be our quarterback, Samoan. That's the only reason.
Yeah. No, it was funny because I follow you on Twitter, the X, and I know you started a big old discussion one time about it don't matter who's that quarterback if the line can't block for him, and right?
Yeah,
and that's so true because that line is a bigger problem than people want to admit. Even though, like, if you look at PFF, they're great at this or they're great at that. Like when you see them on the field, bro, it's different. Like, come on.
See, that's the thing. Like people bring up so many stats. Like, I'm not a stats guy. Only the generic stats, like passing yards, whatever. This is what they did. But for me, I'm an eye test guy. So like whatever I see, that's what I go off of. Like that's why Derek Carr, like as great as he was, I love the dude. He had all the great stats here and there. But when you watched him on the field, it was frustrating. And I quickly found, knew that he wasn't going to be that guy. But that aside, like that's one thing that I get on a lot of Raider fans, because I feel like Raider fans are picky, or like they have favorites, and they don't want to admit it, because it's like I've seen Jimmy G and I've seen how good he looked. Jimmy G is good, like he's okay, he's solid. if he's able to have a solid offensive line block for him, and he showed that in the Broncos game. But once the offensive line was starting to fall off, like he was struggling, and he barely had any time to throw in the pocket. So, but everybody kept getting on Jimmy G. Oh, he's trash, this and whatnot. And then when AOC goes in there, and the offensive line does the same exact thing, and he doesn't have time in the pocket, they're like, oh, the offensive line is bad. They can't block for AOC.
Right.
They're gonna act one way towards Jimmy G, but then you don't. That's why I troll a lot of fans,
Yeah.
But it's like one way towards AOC and then the other towards Jimmy G. You gotta look at it both ways. That's why for me it's like that's why I knocked the AOC because he holds on to the ball too long.
Way too long.
Yeah. He's getting better though. I seen he was getting better in the Chiefs game. So in the Chiefs game, I would say the offensive line wasn't helping out, and then there's a lot of things that go into it. So that for me, I still feel like I'm riding with LC. I'm rooting for him. He's my quarterback. Whoever's going to be the quarterback of the Raiders right now, I'll root for them.
Right.
I'm never going to play for their downfall. Like I said, I only give Fitz shit and talk shit about the ALC here and there just because it's funny. But if Jimmy G's in there, I'm gonna root for him. If ALC's in there, I'm gonna root for him. Brian Hoyer, I just hope that he holds a clipboard for the rest of the season. So for me, I still feel like Jimmy could be a good quarterback, at least for this season. I wouldn't want to bank on him next year, but as far as this season, I still feel like he'd be okay. LC, he still could learn,
Mm-hmm. He could, and I think I'm with you on AOC. I see the indecisiveness, how long it takes. What I wish he would learn, and maybe it's just not in him, is learn how to move in the pocket. If he would learn how to move in the pocket, the offensive line wouldn't look as bad, because even Jimmy G, he was a little mobile. He moved around enough. He just didn't have the arm, like how you said, to make those throws sometimes. But with AOC, I just see him just with his feet stuck in the mud, and it's like, bro, like move a little bit, let the play develop, buy some more time. But I see the arm, I see the talent. I think I agree with you. I'm rooting for the kid, but I don't see him being nothing more than probably a good backup or someone to come in for like a team that's looking for a quarterback, like with us right now. Yeah, but definitely look forward to a quarterback. The potential's there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the potential.
And if he goes, I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he goes out there.
Yeah.
He becomes a franchise quarterback. But for me, I don't see it. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I know he's a rookie, but there's been rookies that have been way better under pressure than AOC.
Yeah, CJ Stroud. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Man. Man.
I would have gave the house to get that guy right now.
Right, I would have too.
Even if we didn't start, I wouldn't have started him too right off the gate. I still would trust Jimmy G to go out there and be the guy. And if shit goes to if it didn't work out, we have CJ Stroud there to at least take over. And I feel like that's what we're missing, and that's why I don't think that I feel like the Raiders need a mobile quarterback. They don't need a runner or like a track star or whatever. They need somebody that can extend plays and make plays on their feet. Somebody like that. That's why I really missed having Marcus Mariota on the team when we had him, because he was able to make those plays. And he didn't have the strongest arm and shit or the most accurate arm, but he was able to make plays. And we've seen that for one game under John Gruden. But I hope we could get a quarterback, whether it's in free agency or in the draft. We got a heavy draft class coming up with quarterback class. So just like AP, AOC, this is his dress rehearsal right now. It's his interview. So if he wants to keep this job, he's got to go out there and be better, show that he's improving and go out there and win games, because so far this season, we haven't really won games off of the offense. It's been the defense. It's just hoping that the offense make too many mistakes and we make the right plays,
Which is wild, because when we started the season, I really felt the offense was going to be the strength, and then we just had to hope the defense didn't blow it. You okay?
Yeah.
And so to hear now that where we're at, that now our defense is our strength, is crazy to me. When we have so little money invested in this defense, it's
Oh
like it's
my gosh.
ridiculous, like how little money there's invested in this defense. But they're balling, they're playing hard. Which
Yeah.
shout out to Patrick Graham. He's got these guys playing, and I mean the one true star, if you're not a Raider fan, is just Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Raider fans will say Crosby, we'll say Spillane,
Spillane's
Hobbs,
up
things like that. But other than that, like league wide, it's just Max. But they're getting it done. Obviously, last week against the Chiefs, it was different, but it's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
they
the
fucking
Chiefs,
do.
yeah.
But
Yeah, man.
I'm really looking forward to these next 5 games, bro. But you brought up a good question. I was going to ask you. It is a really good quarterback class. That's why I was mad that we didn't get Stroud. But then again, like I knew next year the draft quarterback class was
Yeah.
better anyway.
Yeah.
So looking at that, like who are you looking at? Or who would be your favorite, or who is your favorite?
Yeah, man. I know everybody's gonna say Caleb Williams. I don't think we'll get him. Him or Drake May. I would love those two. Like I would love any of those two on our team right now. But you got to look at guys like Michael Penix, like who's been balling this year. You got what's his name from LSU, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Shit, if we bring in fucking, you could look at JJ McCarthy to bring in.
Really, JJ. Bo Nix.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Bo Nix is like that's a lot. There's a lot of quarterbacks, man. I was one of the guys that really wanted Will Levis last year. Everybody.
Oh, really? Yeah, nobody was there.
Like, I mean, CJ was at the top of the list, bar none. CJ, and then it was Will Levis for me, and then it was Anthony Richardson, and then the list goes down. Because I feel like, and the intangibles that he has, man, he has a high ceiling. I know right now he's up and down with the Titans, but he has an arm, and if he was to learn the system and learn under Jimmy G, at least, I think he would do a better job right now than Aiden O'Connell. We got more weapons here,
Yeah.
But as far as next year, like I think, man, any of those quarterbacks that we could get, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be picking in somewhere in the middle. We're not gonna be too high, we're not gonna be too low. So I think, Penix might be a top 10 though, huh? So
I don't know because of the injury history. So I think with him it would depend on like how the combine goes.
Yeah. So I mean, Jaden Daniel, like any of those mobile quarterbacks that could get the job done, I'm okay with. We've talked about it in our last not our last podcast, the one before with Brad, about quarterbacks that we would get, like I wouldn't mind trading for Kyler or fucking Justin Fields, like if we had to go in that direction.
Yeah, we were just talking about that too.
Man, if I had to, like, either one, everybody, whatever they may say about Kyler Murray, or Justin Fields, I feel like those two can do better on this team. I feel like it might cost a little bit more to get Kyler, but Justin Fields, the ceiling's there, the potential's there. He's a mobile quarterback that, who knows, if he has the weapons over here, we go build the offensive line. I'm one guy that would want to spend as much money as we can to bring in the best offensive lineman here to help the right side of the ball, and then just spend the rest on the defensive side. I think offensively we got all the weapons here. I mean, we could add players here and there, but for the most part, I think whether or not we get a quarterback in the draft or trade for a guy like Justin Fields, I think that's the way to go. At least getting a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, I've been hearing that more too, and I think I've been more open to the Fields talk than before, because you see the talent, or even with Kyler Murray. Like I said Kyler too. People thought I was crazy. And I was like, well, if you remember, he was good. He got them to the playoff. Like that was the Arizona team. Like maybe he could bring that back. Whatever's happening in Arizona is wild. They have that dude over there, and Chicago and Arizona are going to end up with top picks. So who knows if they go with Drake or with Caleb. Maybe we can snag one of these two for cheap and go with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that I would not mind. That would be cool to see.
Other than that, there's nobody in free agency that I would want. I know the biggest thing going into free agency is probably going to be Kirk Cousins, but even though he is a bit of an upgrade over what we got right now, and I think that he is a little bit better than Derek Carr,
Mhm.
like I feel like if we went in that direction, we're still gonna stay stagnant. You know, we're not gonna have a high ceiling with a more mobile quarterback or somebody with a higher ceiling. You know, with one of these
Yeah.
rookies, I rather one of those. But
Yeah,
if we
me
want to
too.
win, you know, Kyler Murray's out there,
Well, a lot of people
unpopular.
say we kind of have to win now, right? Because the age with how old Tay is, how old Crosby's getting. Like, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And who knows if we bring back Josh Jacobs next year? So I don't know, man.
I was gonna ask you, what do you think? You think he stays?
Me personally, I want him to stay. I would love to have
Okay.
him back, but depending
Mhm.
on who's going to be the new regime, if it's AP, I see him
Right.
coming back. If it's somebody else like
Right. Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh or anybody else, whoever the coach may be, they might not want to spend, especially seeing how the season has been going right now. You know,
Mhm.
Josh obviously is a dog, you know, but if you don't have to spend that
Yeah.
money on him, they wouldn't spend that money on him. So you know, running back is always like a an option that you could go in a draft and get somebody or go in free agency. It's a big free
But
agency class with running backs.
but is it though? Because I remember they were saying that this offseason, like, oh, we can replace him. We can replace him. Obviously, we
Yeah,
couldn't because he's the only one performing in our running back. So it's like,
that's
is he
true.
really that replaceable? You know, because people were saying like, oh, Zamir White will do it, or McCormick,
Kind
or Bolden, or
of.
remember all that talk? And then
Yes,
now come
Samir.
to it, like JJ's the only one that's out there performing, and
Yeah, even if he hasn't had the big games, like he just looks like
mhm,
he looks like the part. You know, he looks like the
yeah,
guy that could go out make those plays. I mean, he finally broke one out last game. You know,
yeah, he did.
so I would love to keep him here. You know, he was drafted here. You know, homegrown talent. I don't think we
Mhm.
have a lot of players from that 2019 class. You know, I think we only got
Yeah,
Hunter.
it's
It's only Hunter, Max,
Hunter
and Josh.
and Josh, I
I,
think. Right? Wait, when was Brandon Parker?
Brandon Parker was Cohen Miller's year.
Colin Miller's year. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
about unless I'm right. Yeah, that's about it. That's and it's crazy, man. Josh was a part of 3 first round picks, and it sucks
Oh,
how the 2 first round picks had, you know, like fucking
yeah.
waste. And that's why I don't want fucking John Gruden back, man. Like
Thank you for bringing us to our next one. I was going to ask you, have you heard
no,
all that talk about bringing him back?
it sounds nice, but nah, I think we're only going backward. We're only going backwards if we want to go out and get John Gruden, man. I think we're in the right
Yeah.
place going forward. We need to move forward and just let John Gruden go after the NFL. You know, I don't think he's
Right.
going to drop the case at all. But there was a lot of frustrating moments with John Gruden, and people forget that there was a lot of people that wanted John Gruden fired. You know, the same way they
Yeah.
wanted Josh McDaniels fired. You know, and you know he was one guy that came in, stripped the team down, and tried to rebuild it. And you know it was okay. His best season was 8-8. Rich Bisaccia took us to the playoffs that one season with Josh.
Which was
With
his
John,
team, but yeah.
yeah, it was his team, but he wasn't the
Hmm.
one that took it there. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't trust his drafting at all. You know,
Oh, my God.
all the
No, no.
that
Oh,
he's had, you know, here and there, you know, Colt Miller's obviously still here. He's been our best offensive lineman. Josh Jacobs obviously has been solid. You know, of course they went out and got some of those diamond in the rough players like Max Crosby, Hunter Renfro, and stuff like that. But
Seahawks.
for the most part, like you have 3 first round picks, and you only have, and in the 2020 draft class, both of our first round picks are not even in the league anymore. You know, so it's like
Right.
you know it's crazy to and I just seen something from Protect the Shield where he was talking about Hondo
Yeah.
and again you know they were talking about David Arnett and he wasn't on anybody's board and if so it wasn't nowhere near before the 5th round, you know, and the fact that we got him in the
Uh-huh.
1st round, it
That
was a
was crazy.
surprising move at the time, you know. And you see the
Mhm.
talent that comes off the board after that, after Cleveland Farrell, after Jonathan Abram. You know, I really wanted to
Mhm.
get fucking Montez Sweat that year. You know,
Oh,
with
my God. Yeah.
at that pick, the pick that we got
That
Josh
pick.
Jacobs at. Yeah, I
Mhm.
wanted Montez Sweat. If not, then there was other defensive players that we could have easily gotten. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want John Gruden. He's in the past right now. His play calling is ancient. You know,
Mhm.
I rather see AP fall and crash next year than to
Right.
bring back John Gruden and have any kind of hope. So you know, I'm already past that shit though.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, I'm John Gruden fan, but more for like the
Oh yeah, I
legend, the
love
aura that was John Gruden. You know, like I don't hate on
yeah,
him, but do I want him to come back? No. Do I want
hell
him
no.
to drop his lawsuit? Absolutely not. Like fuck Goodell in the NFL. Like
Oh, fuck the
keep that
NFL. Go
lawsuit. You
after
know.
yeah. And,
you know.
and that's why they're saying that he could come back because they didn't want him to go after him. Fuck it, go
Yeah.
expose buddy, bro. Because the NFL fucked us over that season though. They tried to fuck us
Yeah, they
over that
did.
season
Uh-huh.
because we
They
were on the
did.
road. We were cool. We were solid, and then that whole thing happened. But it is what it is. Like I said, I love John Gruden the same way I love Derek Carr. You know, I
Yeah.
love Derek Carr as a person, what he's done for the organization. But I was I was okay with us moving on. That's probably the second best thing that Josh McDaniels did over here was fucking let go of Derek Carr. That, to me,
Really?
uh, I think so. I was done with them, and I feel like there was like the coaches before, like John Gruden. I think that he was too fucking scared to
Move
like
on
to
from him.
like because he was gonna get the shit end of the stick. Everybody's gonna start talking shit. But
Mhm.
I think that time has gone come and gone already. So Devontae Adams was the number one thing that he did, and then the second was I think that the thing is I think that they should have done a better job of going about it at least.
Mhm.
Instead of benching him those last two games, I think that they should have just at least let him do a farewell game, especially if we were going to keep Jared Stidham. I
Yeah.
wanted Jared Stidham, but if we weren't going to keep Jared Stidham, then what was the point of putting him in there just to let him go the next season? If
Yeah.
we kept him, he would have been a solid backup for us. I would have wanted
Yeah.
Jared Stidham here right now than any of the quarterbacks that we have,
Oh,
because
for sure. Yeah.
he knows the system. He could throw the ball deep. So he was like AOC and fucking Jimmy G put together,
Together.
kind
Yeah. Mhm.
kind of, but that's just me, man.
No, and I feel you. And you said you saw the thing with Protect the Show, my homeboy Chris and Hondo. Uh, did you? I don't know if you read the article that Hondo put out that they talk about. They're gonna talk about it later, but they talked about Stidham in that article.
Okay.
How McDaniels didn't want Stidham because he already in his mind after Brady fell through wanted Jimmy. Like he wanted Jimmy to be the
Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
bro.
So that's when that whole thing fell through, and it was like, ugh.
Brad just told us too because he knows a guy
Yeah.
that's close to Jared Stidham, and he said that Jared wanted to stay in Vegas. He wanted to.
Yeah.
He's like, and even when Denver offered him the bag, he came back to the Raiders, and he even and said, "Hey, they're offering this much. I'm not asking for that, but I still want to be in Vegas because he had a place here in Vegas. He kind of grew here, like he kind of like got situated here in Vegas, and I feel like he
Yeah.
would have been the perfect backup, even if you went out and got Jimmy G or Tom Brady or drafted a rookie like O'Connell. I'd rather have
Just
him here than Brian Hoyer. Like what's the point of having Brian Hoyer here? I mean,
yeah.
the only he's a teacher. He's going to be the teacher for the young quarterback. But I'd rather have Jared Stidham. I felt like he would have been the best option for us right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
I was mad when he left. Like I really thought we could move forward with Stiddy, and
we
then
could,
if we drafted a
that was
rookie, he could follow behind them. Like if that could have
that
been
would have
it,
been
but obviously
that
that
would
didn't
have
happen.
been
Mhm.
perfect
Yeah,
because
because
my
based on
thing.
the article, it was Stiddy, and then he wanted to bring in Jacoby Brissett. That's who he wanted to bring in.
Yeah, I didn't know. But,
yeah,
yeah,
so
they
I
would
was
have brought the
tripping
whole.
out.
And yeah, like for me, like I I expect nothing less from Josh McDaniels than to get his fucking Patriot players here.
yeah,
And I'm one. I was like, you know what? I wasn't mad that it was like fucking Patriots West. I was like, okay, let's see if this shit could
how
work
it
here.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, but that shit, obviously, that shit did not work. I was like, okay, let's fucking move on from these Patriot players, play whatever it may be. My perfect offseason would have been obviously go Tom Brady first. That would be my number one
All right.
option. I feel like that was the number one option. Then he fucking hoed out and fucking retired. And then so the next thing was, hey, maybe bring in Stidham, go draft a young quarterback, you know,
Mhm.
and then whoever the third quarterback would be, what it is. I would have went forward with Jimmy G. I mean, fucking Jared Stidham. Maybe we still go get
Yeah.
Jimmy G and have that. Like, I'd rather have that, the rookie quarterback Jimmy G, and then fucking Jared Stidham here. I think that
And
could have
then
still been, but I wouldn't have waited for fucking Aiden O'Connell though. Not to lie, he wasn't even on my board.
yeah, no.
Like I
From
said,
what I remember, it was on the GMs. Like he saw him. He
yeah,
told Daniels, "I like this kid," and yeah. Mhm.
yeah,
Which, if you
and
think
he's got
about it,
potential.
their system, he's got potential, but he's straight pocket passer.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
really
he
is.
is.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, the intangibles were there. Like you know,
Yeah.
so I think he still could be solid, but like I said, like for me, I would have went in a different direction. I rather would have went Will Levis or do everything I could to get CJ Stroud.
Woo!
Um,
Yeah. I wanted
but it is
CJ.
what it is. It is what it
Mhm.
is. It's easy to look at what CJ's doing right now and say, "Hey, we should have got
True.
him." It might have been a
Hmm.
different
Yeah.
story. Like look at Bryce Young right now. Nobody would have expected him to look
Well,
this bad, but
mhm.
most of it doesn't really fall on him. I understand that a
It
different
doesn't. The
situation
team.
it could have been better, but not
Yeah.
a lot of people are wanting Bryce Young right now. They would have rather had CJ Stroud.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I said, it is what it is.
That's why I tell people, like, they ask me about the quarterback. I'm like, let me watch the bowl games and the championships, and then I'll tell you who. Because I
Yeah.
know last year I was like somebody else or whatever, but after I saw CJ play in that bowl game against Georgia,
Oh
I was like, this
gosh,
dude has it. Like, this dude
yeah.
has it. Like, this is the guy right here. So that's why
And he
today I want to
lost.
look. I want to see the game. Yeah, he lost that game because they missed that
I mean,
field goal.
yeah, but you see him during that whole game. That dude was balling, bro. Against a
Yeah, he was balling in it
defense.
against a badass Georgia defense.
That's
Yeah.
nearly a
Mhm.
NFL defense right there, almost.
Yeah,
But
about as close you would get to NFL in the college was that Georgia defense. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean,
That's why
we'll
tonight
see.
will be
We'll
cool.
see how.
Watch Oregon and Washington
Yeah,
to see Knicks
they're
go
over
against
here.
Penix.
Oh, fucking today, right now, huh? Or later on
Yeah,
today, and
later on
tomorrow's
today.
UNLV.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about UNLV. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I want to go to
Hmm.
UNLV. I want to go to all the Vegas games out here, man. Just
I know. If
um,
I was in Vegas, I probably would be going tonight to the Oregon Washington game. That'd be pretty dope. The Pac-12
yeah,
championship. It's the last one.
yeah.
It's the last one. It's not gonna happen anymore. Like it's
But the
crazy.
Pac-12 championship.
Yeah, because the division's crumbling. They're going to the Big Ten. Hmm.
Oh, shit. So, I don't know a lot about college, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I
And
like college. So a lot of those
the
that a
tickets
lot of
are
that
cheap
conference is
too.
gone. They are.
Yeah, they're
Oh
like
shit.
$40 or something. They start at $40.
They start at
The
40
UNLV
bucks.
games are cheap though too. It's 20 something
Yeah.
bucks, and you
Okay.
get to the 100 section in Allegiant Stadium for 20
Oh
something bucks.
shit.
You don't really see that for that price at Raider games for sure. But
Never, never, not for a Raider game.
I'm trying to catch the one tomorrow, the UNLV versus Boise State. Got to represent Vegas
Uh,
for a bit,
you gotta. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's cool. I love that about y'all, that y'all represent Vegas with the Raiders. A lot of people will hit me up and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want it to say Vegas on it. Like, do you have any
Yeah, a
LA
lot.
or Oakland stuff?" Like, I don't want like
Yeah,
it's to me, it's the Raiders. I don't care. I'm an
yeah,
LA Raider fan. I grew up here in LA. That's where I know them.
yeah,
When they moved to Oakland, I followed them. I didn't care that it said Oakland. Now that they're in Las Vegas,
yeah.
I don't care that it says Las Vegas, as long as it says
Exactly,
Raiders. That's all that
man.
matters to me.
Man, a lot of people don't. I respect everybody's decision though, but me, like, I'm gonna support the team wherever. I'm gonna rep whatever, like
Right.
Vegas, like, and like I grew up with. I didn't watch the Raiders in LA, but I was a SoCal Raider fan. Like, I was a like an LA Raider fan, so I rep like more of the SoCal area more than the Bay. I still rep, Oakland and whatnot,
Mhm.
uh, and now, like for me, I feel like more of my stamp has been here in Vegas. So like
Yeah.
I've been heavy on the Vegas thing. I moved here to Vegas. I love it here in Vegas. The city is growing as a sports, capital right now.
Yeah.
We're winning everywhere. It's a champion city. It's a champion city. So the Raiders just need to do their job, man. They need to
It's
go
the
out there and
Raiders'
start.
turn.
Hopefully, man.
Uh,
But I had one. Man, when they first announced the Raiders, man, I got me a Las Vegas Raiders shirt. It was like the Raiders logo, but then it just
mhm.
said Las Vegas. And I remember a lot of people
Same.
seeing that shit like
Yeah.
what the fuck, bro? The fuck, like it's fucking Raiders, bro. I was happy they moved. They deserved to
Yeah.
move because they were never gonna get a stadium in Oakland.
Yeah.
Uh, I wanted them in LA. That was my first
No, me
option.
too.
But now looking back at it, I'm perfectly fine with Vegas because we got our own stadium. We don't have to share with the Chargers.
You have to share.
And
Yeah.
well, and it's good the Chargers are there because we get to go over there and it's our home away from home.
Yeah, that's true. You get to do another game, and that's like a whole nother home for that one.
That's our home game. We get a home game in LA, and we don't have. That's not our.
That's true. That's true. But man, we're almost done with the season. 5 games left. Like, what do you expect to see these last 5 games, bro?
I do expect this to be a competitive team. I think these last 2 losses against 2 great teams really. I think it was great for. I think it was good for Antonio Pierce to deal with a little bit of adversity. It's easy to ride the high when we're winning games and stuff like that. But now, this is the toughest part for Josh McDaniels because he lost a lot of games, especially a lot of close games or even blowout games. Was trying to go out there to the podium and try to keep this team together while we were losing. Especially with a lot of frustrated players. So I want to see how AP does for the rest of the season, and I feel like he'll be solid, man. I just hope to see that. I just hope we get to see a lot more wins. I think we'll drop 1 game. I don't know which game it will be. I could see us, hopefully going 4-1, and that's only 9 wins. It maybe not. It's not enough, but if we go out there and look competitive every single game, and we just lose 1 game. And I'm perfectly fine with that being the fucking Christmas game. But I hope I
hope we win that one.
I'm never gonna say a game is winnable because knowing the Raiders, any game we could lose. Whether no matter how sorry the team is, we could always lose to one of the sorriest teams in the league. But we do got a favorable schedule going forward, other than the Chiefs. We got the Vikings coming up on next Sunday, and then we got a short week, man. Thursday night football for the fucking Chargers, but then we'll have a long preparation for the Christmas game, and then we finish it off with the Colts in Denver. So I would definitely be at mostly all those games, if not every game, at home. Not the
home games. I thought you were going to Kansas City for Christmas. I'm like, damn.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah, I'm good on that. I'd rather spend Christmas here with my daughter and shit. I could see us going 4-1. Unless we bust a 2021 and we go undefeated for the rest of the season. I have to rate Raiders winning 10 games, meaning that they can't lose any more games. But
you did? Man. You picked 10?
I had 10? Us 10, man. I fucking said 10. Fitz said 8. And Fitz is more really lines right now. So it's possible. Anything's possible. Like I said, we've seen crazier things happen in the NFL for us. So yeah.
I'm excited that we got the bye and now we get to finish strong. Hopefully, the players get to rest, come out motivated. Like you said, I'm glad that not glad, but I see how they lost it. Kind of humbled them down to reality. See where they're at. To me, it's like we're a mid team and we're about to play mid teams also, other than Kansas City. So it's this is where you see where you're at, who's going to be here next year, what we need moving forward. And it's like you said, if I see them out there playing hard, fighting, I'm cool with that. If we get blown out, I'll be pissed and I'll be like, fuck this shit and all that, and then watch again the next week. But I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I want to see them. I just want to see our offense finally get going. Like every month we're like, it'll be this month. It's getting, and it's only been 1 game. Like damn. Like, can we get that offense going a little bit?
We'll see. We'll see, man. Like if the offense still looks like that, man, maybe we're gonna have to switch the quarterbacks up, man. No, I was joking. Put Jimmy in, dog. Like, me and Fitz kind of like we joked about this. We said like we were writing a script down for the rest of the season. The perfect script, NFL script would be the Raiders going on a run, making it to the playoffs. Say that Denver game, fucking AOC gets fucking injured, and then Jimmy G has to step in for the playoffs, does a fucking Nick Foles, takes us to the Super Bowl. We play the Niners, and he goes up against his former team and whoops State Candy ass, and then we win the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas. I feel like that's the perfect story. Man.
I love that script.
With the interim head coach, man. That was me, man. But we all can dream. You know,
Ooh, and the Super Bowl would be in Vegas. You know that parking lot would be off the hook that weekend. Oh my god!
it's either the Raiders go in the Super Bowl, or if we don't go in the Super Bowl, any team but the Niners. I don't
You
think
don't
I
want
could
them.
survive here in Vegas a whole week with the fucking Niner fans out here. So any other team, like, I don't want the Niners here, man. If we can't be in,
Mhm.
they can't be in. You
They
know,
can't be
so
in either.
yeah. Imagine the whole fucking weekend in Vegas and just seeing Niner fans take over Vegas, man.
Oh
Yeah.
man! You say you're gonna be there for the rest of the home games. You guys gonna be having your tailgates and the events?
Oh, yeah, well, we'll be yeah. Well, I mean, you know, J Lot's always popping at Uce Nation. We got our tailgate there with Supper's Barbecue with those hot
Mhm.
dogs. And DJ Steph always on the ones and
Yes.
twos. We're wrecking crew. Shout out to Dos Catas Tequila. They're always there as well. And then we got I Love Micheladas. If you guys want Michelada cups and stuff like that, we're there. Like I said, shout out to Wrecking Crew. They're there. Shout out to Lot J Tacos. My guy Cisco, man.
Yes.
They're
Let's
always
go.
there. So, you know, it's always a good vibe at the tailgates before the games. Whether you go to the parties, which I think the only party going on is the Black Hole one at Eye Candy, where we go there sometimes too, here and there.
Okay.
But yeah, for the most part, you know, we'll be at Lot J. You'll find the Uce Nation tents over there, right next to Wrecking Crew. Just having a good time, good vibes. Yeah, man. I'll be there. Are you going to any more games this season or what?
Yeah, I'll be there for the Minnesota one for the next one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Minnesota.
Yeah, I'll
It's gonna
definitely be
lit.
there for that one, and then I'll probably want to go to the Denver one. I know I got a text
Oh, yeah.
message from the Uce Nation about a new thing you guys are doing, so I might go to that with y'all, and then we'll get to the with
Denver?
that shit. Yeah, about a ticket, about Champions Club or something like that. Like if I wanted, yeah.
Oh,
I think it
shit.
was Gary who sent me that message. Yeah.
That is-
Yeah.
well, I guess so. You know that'd
Yeah.
be dope too. But
Mhm.
yeah, I know. Yeah. So I'll be there at all the games and stuff. Hopefully, leaving
For sure.
happy. You know, hopefully,
Yeah,
leave happy.
yeah, hopefully.
You
Yeah,
know.
hopefully.
It's-
Especially against the Vikings. We gotta win that one. We gotta win that one coming off a bye. Get the momentum started to the end of the season, you know?
They
Get
got no
that
Kirk
momentum
Cousins.
going.
They ain't
No
got
Kirk.
nobody out there. Justin
Mhm.
Jefferson's returning, so we'll see how that looks. Maybe
Yeah, I hope
give
you don't come back that game.
give him one touchdown, guys. This is my wide
That's it.
receiver. My wide receiver one right there. No, I'm joking, but
Team before fantasy. Team before fantasy use.
yeah, it's tough, man. Josh Jacobs whooped my ass one game this year. I forgot who I played.
Did he?
Somebody, and then I was up the whole time, and fucking Josh Jacobs wanted to have his best game against the fucking Packers, bro.
And you're like, damn
What
it.
is- Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Uce. Thank you for stopping by, brother.
Yeah.
I'll release this later, and then I will definitely see you in Vegas when I go down there. You know,
Yeah.
it'll be good times as usual. See you, Fitch, Jesse, the whole crew. I'll see y'all out down there in Vegas, brother.
Man, I appreciate you having me on, man. Of course, if you guys are not subscribed, man, subscribe to the Usos channel, man. I'll see you at the games, like always, man. Keep repping. Shout out to Dark Side. You know, we repping Dark Side.
Dark
Oh,
Side.
and, bro, this is shout out to the nation too. This is unreleased. He sent it to me too. This got the fucking Coliseum, Oakland, and Legion Stadium, bro. You got the whole Las Vegas.
Damn.
But yeah, you got all the stadiums. So he hasn't released it yet. He sent it to me, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna rock it and shit."
Hell
So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody doing their thing, man. And let's just go out with a bang this season. And I hope the Raiders can leave the Raider Nation happy at the end of the season, man.
For real. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Look, check it out. All black with a hoodie, snapback, ready, snap on. Long white socks, me mugging like I'm King Kong. With them all black Chuck Taylors. West side and this bitch yelling Raiders. Thuggin', cause we know with it. Motherfuckers like y'all suck, but we don't give a fuck, nigga. We deal with it. Jaw jacking, getting nigga fucked up with the quickness. Parking lot squabbles, giving nigga the business. Shh, quiet. The fuck you mean? We yelling Raiders, bitch. like fuck your team, you wanna talk your shit. Get stabbed like Scream Stadium, take off, nigga, homicide scene. Oakland to LA, LA to Oakland, Las Vegas, Sin City, steady smoking. Raiders looking to get another ring like fuck y'all haters, nigga, y'all know me. We yelling Raiders, bitch, y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. With it, two niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck, Raiders, bitch. Y'all know what's up, like Raiders, bitch. With it, two niggas up like Raiders, bitch. I show no love like Raiders, bitch. Nigga, we don't give a fuck.
With so much drama in the big LV, it's kinda hard being Yaya or end up C. But I, somehow, some ways, keep dropping